When I got out of the military, I had a hard time translating my military experience into the civilian world. I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for my wife, I probably would have been that homeless or impoverished vet. But it can be easier with the right support. I'm Mark Casper, and I'm the Executive Director of Tech4Troops. In today's world, you have to have a computer to be able to apply for jobs. Our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce.
Here at Tech4Troops, we're here to push you forward to get you back to where you want to be in life. When the veterans come in, I teach them everything you could think of that's done with a computer. I want them to feel that this is a tool that's going to help them get their life back.
I went into a kind of a deep depression. Eventually, I lost my job and I was out on the street. The computer was able to connect me to the web, and I was able to start putting resumes out. And you have to have these small building blocks to get from point A to point B. I'm not worried about employment anymore.
The need is great, and we want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
Good evening, folks. For the Tech4Troops Vegas 200, I'm Rick Souza with the IWM Broadcast Network. I'm joined here in the booth with my co-host, John DeRudris.
Hey, Rick. It's going to be a fun night here at Vegas tonight, and these next-gen cars just fly around here with really nothing stopping them. I mean, these cars just seem to really like mile and a halves, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, looking forward to it. We're trying to, right now we're working through qualifying. Just got a few folks on the track. Currently watching Ian Ogden make his way around the track. And numbers are beginning to come in. John, I'm going to try and take care of that little issue we talked about earlier while we could go through some points, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go through some of the point standings here at the Tech4Troops Cup Series. And right now, Joey Doucette is at the top of the board. I mean, clear championship favorite as it stands right now going into Las Vegas. But don't look too far back. His AJM teammate, Harley Barletta, is in second place in the point standings. He's had a strong run. He's looking to get his first victory of the season. Ryan Pittman there in P3 is right behind those AJM guys. He's looking for a good run. And the Owl's Nest Racing, Hermas Castro in that 25, already's got a dub on the season, looking to break in to the top three here potentially followed by Ian Ogden in P5. He's looking to have another strong run. Now, you're probably saying, where is the previous champion, Christopher Howell? Well, Christopher Howell is back in 9th. He has had a lot of strong runs this year, has not been able to make his way up to the top spot, but that doesn't mean he can't win. He is the previous champion. He knows how to win, so I expect him to have a strong run here tonight. But going through the rest of your top, really 18 in points right now, Sean Shootman is in 6th, Ty Bostic in 7th, Mike Slatker in 8th, Howell in 9th, and Marco Berube rounds out your top 10. Andrew Surwick is in P11, Mark Feeney doing a nice job this season in P12. David Watts, also a great run so far through this part of the season, in 13th. Alexander Schumacher in 14th. Kublai Kalen there in 15th. Bradley Previtt in 16th. John Ledger in 17th. And Pete Woodrum rounds out the top 18. And, the top 12 is what we want to pay attention to going into future races. But let's see where some of the rest of the drivers could potentially make it in from the back of the field. So you have Paul Valentine. You have Freddie Durstock there, P20, P21, Luke Bullard, Tyler Peebles, Evan Amick. All these guys have seen their way up to the front of the field, just haven't been able to get it done. You have Bobby Gibson there, Evan Amick, Eric Olva, Jeff Nani. And then you have some other drivers. Blake Giglio, we haven't seen him in a while here in the Tech4Troops Cup Series, but he does have a win on the season. So he is actually locked in to the playoffs as it stands. We'll see what happens after this race. We have Jerry Botto there, Zach Allen, Dave Sharon, Dave P. Sharon, William Mann Jr., who is a new driver to the Cup Series, also making his headway, running in the top 10. You have Uber Packer there and a bunch of other drivers that have run only a few races here so far in the season. So, Rick, I think we were able to get that little technical difficulty solved. I think we were. Yes, we were. Okay, we're all good, ready to go. It definitely says the Tech4Troops Cup Series at Vegas. So,
great.
Looks like we're all squared away.
Great. Hopefully the broadcast updated. That's perfect. Thanks for joining us, folks. This is the IWM Broadcast Network. We are broadcasting the Tech4Troops Cup Series, and tonight we are at Las Vegas. And so we've got a number of drivers who have qualified and a few more going out. In fact, you're watching the 25 car. Or I guess that's qualifying has just ended. So, John, while qualifying has just ended, why don't we talk about your keys to the race, and then we'll jump into the grid.
Absolutely. So, Las Vegas, 1.5 miles. It's a fun one to drive, and it's a fun track because it requires a couple key factors to potentially win. So, one, tires. You have to preserve your tires because at every 1.5 miles, it's going to matter, especially late in runs. Now, here it may not be as big of an issue earlier on, but if you're on some old sets of tires and somebody else puts on some new sets of tires, you're going to see about a 1.5 second difference, I would imagine, on that. Second, pit strategy is huge here at Las Vegas because of two factors. One, it can be a heavy drafting track, and two, you don't really want to mess up pit road entry. Pit road entry, you're coming off of turn 3, turn 4 at 175 miles an hour, and you're trying to back that thing down to about 40 miles an hour. So we'll see who's going to be able to master that. And then 3, turn 4 corner exit. If you tuned in for some practice, or probably didn't see a little bit in qualifying, but in practice, there was a lot of congestion, to say the least, out of turn 4. So am I going to say the turn 4 monster is back tonight? I think it is because I saw some practice, Rick, and turn 4 looked a little slick. So you can actually see right there some tire marks right by the infield grass. So we'll see who's able to keep their car under control, as we've seen cold tires do not really work early on in these 1.5 mile racetracks. 133 laps for tonight's Tech4Troops Vegas 200. 60% fuel, so I'm predicting about a 45-lap fuel run here, which means they're going to have to pit roughly about 3 times. One quick repair, as always, so they get a redo, essentially, if they get involved in a wreck. And we have 4 sets of tires, which I think will be used pretty much all the way through, unless we have a clean green race. But, Rick, go ahead, start us off with tonight's starting lineup for the Tech4Troops Vegas 200.
So on the pole tonight is Hermas Castro in the 25. On the outside, Austin Armstrong in the 13. Behind Hermas, you've got Chris Worrell in the 8. And outside of Chris, you've got Joey Doucette in the 11. In 5th, Alexander Schumacher in the 68. And in 6th, Harley Barletta in the 81. In the 7th place, you've got the 09 of Tyler Bryant and the 88 of Christopher Howell in 8th place. Ty Bostic in the 22 is in 9th, and Mike Slagder in the 14 is in 10th position.
Starting in P11 is Alonzo King Jr. He has won one race this season. He's looking to make it number 2 here, starting in the 11th spot. In 12th, you have Ian Ogden. In 13th, Joey Thompson, followed by Evan Amick in 14th. Pete Woodrum and Luke Bullard make up row 8, and Marco Berube and William Mann Jr. make up row 9. David Watts, Jeff Deneen, 19th and 20th. And Mark Feeney and Paul Valentine make up row 11. Row 22, or row 12 rather, made up by Ryan Pittman, Ryan Andrews, the 2 Ryans. Jeff Taylor, Bobby Gibson make up 25 and 26. Robert Fake and Freddie make up row, I can't even count now, but 27th and 28th.
14.
Sean Shootman is in 29th, and Brad Previtt technically is in P30.
All right, we are about to go to get the green flag. Green flag is out on the flag stand, and we are under green here at Vegas for the Tech4Troops Vegas 200.
We got a big field here tonight, and we'll see who's able to conquer and roll the dice and get a little lucky here tonight at Vegas, as we see the field starting to stack up a little bit mid-pack.
Yeah, you can see Hermas Castro and Chris Worrell have jumped up pretty quick. They're nose to tail.
And here comes turn 4. Cold tires. Anybody going to get loose?
I saw Marco Berube a little bit aside.
Lap 1 led by Hermes Castro. Oh. I believe we have some contact between the 09, and I believe that was the 88 of Christopher Howell.
They're definitely side by side, door to door here.
Yeah, 09 slid up the track again.
3 wide coming off of 4. 09 is a little squirrely. That 09 is Tyler Bryant.
I believe this is this his debut, Rick?
I think it is, yeah.
Oh, we're spinning. There's
that car on the wall.
31. That is the 31 of Joey Thompson.
And the caution is out. Let's go back and see what we can see here. We're thinking it's the 31 of...
Yep. Joey Thompson got a little loose. Oh, right in front of the 1 of Pete Woodrum there. Slaps the wall. Everybody avoids him, though.
31 does pretty well getting around.
So really only a 2-car accident here on lap 3.
We'll go back and just see this from a little bit different angle. We'll just run this at full speed.
Oh.
Yep. So he was a little bit loose, and I think Pete Woodrum kind of exasperated it a little bit, and unfortunately, Mr. Woodrum caught the outside safer barrier. All right. Well, we are under our first caution of the night at the very beginning. Got a few laps in. Got 5 laps in, so... All right, so thanks for joining us, folks. If this is your first time, or not your first time, you've joined us before on one of our social media streaming platforms, we ask that you like and follow us, whether that's YouTube or Twitch or Facebook. We'd love to keep you up to date as to what's happening with our Wednesday night Tech4Troops Cup Series. But also we have a Tuesday night Super Speedway series that has a few more weeks left, as well as some special events. We've got a 500-mile event coming up on November 20th. It'll be in the afternoon, where we've got lots of drivers involved. We have good field. We'll have a big broadcast booth, and it should be a lot of fun for the broadcast team and those racers on. So stay up to date, like and follow the IWM Broadcast Network, and we'd love to have you and keep you up to date with what's going on with us.
It'll be a fun event, Rick. I believe I'm going to hop up in the booth next week for that. And Atlanta's turned into it's a super speedway now. You can't consider it along with some of these other mile-and-a-half tracks. You have to really put it up there with Talladega and Daytona. Let me ask you this: do you think it's always going to be like that, or do you think that the grip in the track is going to start tapering off over time?
I personally feel that it's going to take a while for us to see any change in that track. So, yeah, it's going to be what we have for a while.
Well, it's definitely entertaining, and in the ARCA cars, it'll give us some good. I believe it's ARCA, correct? It would be ARCA or no? Or is it next gen?
Well, for next week at Atlanta, it's the truck series. That's
the trucks. Okay.
The Super Speedway. That's on Tuesday nights.
So
the 500-mile event, and I'll double check this while I've got a bit of a time here. We'll double check. That's the second annual Ryan Sadusky 500, and I believe that's at Talladega.
Yes, I believe that is, and that'll be a special event for sure. And I think we're gonna have a unique and probably never been done before broadcast style, Rick. I think it's going to be a very interesting event, to say the least, to not spill out too many details. But it'll be great. But really quick, I can't go. I'm going to start a new segment. Every caution, I'm going to come up with a track fact. Did you know, Rick, that Las Vegas Motor Speedway has 9 different tracks compiled into the track? So what does that actually mean? Well, it's not really known, but they have included a total of 9 different tracks into their facilities to accommodate a wide variety of racing and motorsports. Basically, the infield essentially can be turned into 9 different configurations, depending on what you want, with the 1.5-mile oval being one of those configurations. So Las Vegas is a place for everybody, I guess. So that is your Caution 1 track fact by John.
Good to know. The more you know. The more you know. All right, folks, we are about to get that green flag back out, about to go back to green as they'll cross the line for lap 8. We've had our first caution jitters.
Yep, we'll see what happens, see if the intensity picks up here with all of these Tech4Troops Cup Series drivers. Christopher Worrell trying to get on the win column. So is Armstrong. So is Barletta. We'll see what happens. Field is stacked up. Green flag is out. We're back to racing here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway in the Tech4Troops Vegas 200. And we had a big stack up on the bottom lane, about 5 or 6 cars back. So bottom lane did not prevail.
No, field is because of that. It kind of field has kind of accordioned out a little bit here, and maybe that's not a bad thing. Give each other a chance to get some room and figure out what line they want to run. Vegas is a pretty unique track. Some guys run. You see Hermas Castro running that high line. Others, like other 1.5 miles, so try to get a little bit down towards the white line there.
And you're going to see a mix of both worlds there, Rick, with high line, low line. You could definitely run the high line here. It's definitely fun, but it takes a little bit of guts to be able to do that because of how close you have to run it. But in these cars, it's going to be very interesting to see what approach these drivers take tonight. We'll see Mr. Armstrong get a great run on the high side, maybe looking to challenge Mr. Castro up there for P1 for a second. Depending on if he goes to that high side again, he's going to get a great run, I imagine, down coming off of turn 2.
He's on fire. I mean, he just ran that high line all the way around.
And look at how high that 25 is running. That didn't really work that time. New leader, Austin Armstrong, in the number 13 Super Flow Mustang. Leading for one of the first, whoa, get a little high there on Mr. Castro. But one of the first times he has led all season long. So good to see that up there. You have Mr. Alexander Schumacher. Seems like he's always makes his way to the front every single week in that number 68 Ford. Let's see he's able to do as we are 11 laps into this 133-lap event. Want to thank everybody who's watching, either on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, no matter where you are. We appreciate it. And if you would give us a like and a subscribe, the algorithms like that, and we like that a lot too, because we can then grow this broadcast network and provide you with better and more racing throughout the week as time goes on, and also to grow this. Whoa, very close there, Rick. For the 25 and the 13, or the 13 there. But we appreciate everybody watching along tonight.
So major battle up front between Austin Armstrong, Hermas Castro, and Alexander Schumacher is just in the wings, kind of waiting to see what happens between these two. They have been side by side, door to door, and swapped the lead at least once or twice here in these first 13 laps.
Absolutely, they have. And Rick, don't look too far back, but in 6th, 7th, and 8th, look who's there. Bostic, Barletta, Doucette, even Howell, all the 11-11 guys.
Oh, yeah, there's a whole gaggle of these guys right back there,
yep,
just waiting.
All the AJM guys, you know, and that is the team that you have to be aware of, because they are taking a complete dominant approach to Season 2 of the Tech4Troops Cup Series, as right now we see them right there in the back of the pack.
It's good to see Ty Bostic in that 22 running that familiar Wonder Bread car. If you're watch the Talladega Nights,
let's just hope he doesn't flip upside down and run around on the track in a diaper. That'd be a little embarrassing for the Tech4Troops Cup Series. But so Ty, note to self: don't do that there, buddy. If you end up on your lid or flipping through the infield. But that is a good looking paint scheme. Driver we want to highlight really quick, Christopher Worrell there. He has not really been around too much this season, but he is such a great driver there in that number 8 machine. He definitely knows how to get it done.
Yeah, Christopher's making his return tonight. We'll see if he can stay with our series throughout, or just going to come in and just do some guest appearances like tonight. So again, our leader right now is Alexander Schumacher. He's battling Austin Armstrong side by side here.
Mr. Schumacher out of Michigan looking to take the lead, and he does take the lead here as the sun sets in Las Vegas.
Yeah, we should see the lights come on pretty soon.
Yeah, we should. This is going to be a transition race, I believe, Rick. So we may see this go completely from light to dark. Definitely going to have some lights on the track for sure, though. But that'll definitely play a factor into how these cars handle as the track cools down. There's going to be a little bit more grip, which means faster times, but also that could mean a better and aggressive racing. Austin Armstrong slides up the track there, as we now have about 10 cars within a second of each other battling for the top spot. 3 wide going into turn 1. You have Bostic, King, and Armstrong, I believe, right there.
So this is at lap 18, and we're beginning to see, or these drivers should begin to be aware of the wear on these tires. Las Vegas can be a relatively abrasive track, and so they will see some tire wear here.
And right now, those AJM guys are trying to find a way around Mr. Armstrong right there.
Well, you've got the 25 there as well of Hermas Castro. The 22 of Bostic, they're all in the way. Oh, little contact.
You got 7 cars all right there. There's Luke Bullard has answered. Coming back up to the front here. He's been having a very strong run recently in both the Tech4Troops Cup Series as well as our Truck Series. So he's performing very high in both at the moment. We'll see if he's able to get it done. We got a little bit of tire smoke and a caution's out, Rick.
Oh.
This is a wreck after the caution.
So we saw Paul Valentine got involved in something. Let's go back to that yellow flag. See what caused it.
Oh, there it is. There's the actual wreck. That is the 31 again. Yeah, that was the 31 car of Joey Thompson getting...
Well, again, with the one of Woodrum.
It feels like deja vu.
All over again. Hey, hang on. Let's double check and just see where that... There it is. Okay, so it's the 91 and the 23. Let's just back that up here.
Yep, that's Bradley Previtt and Jeffrey Taylor. Yeah, I was about to say, Rick, that looks almost identical to the one that we had before. It was.
The folks in the truck, they kind of backed it up a little bit too far. All right, so we'll run this at full speed, and then we'll just see what happened here. Oh, there we go. The 09. The 09 came down of Tyler Bryant.
It looks like he just like smacked the wall.
Yeah, he's already got some major toe link issues. He was on that wall.
Did he break a toe link in the middle of? Oh,
right
he hit
there.
The apron, Rick.
Yep.
He hit the apron, Rick, and slapped the wall. Broke a toe link.
Got tapped by the 23. 23 was involved, and yeah. Yep. All right. So, interestingly enough, while we were off analyzing and overanalyzing the incident here on lap 21, everybody came down pit road, with the exception of Freddie Durstock, who is coming down now. But everybody came down pit road, got themselves tires and fuel to get back out on track.
And here comes Mr. Durstock down pit road. That's a really awesome paint scheme he has there, Rick. I don't know who designed it, but it looks really, really good. So shout out to him and the Cincy Tint Shop and Emerald Coating as well. His sponsors, got to give a plug for them.
Got a lot of chrome on that paint scheme.
Yes. Well, it's a tint shop. It's a paint shop. What do you expect? Gotta make it look good. Make it look good. So, Freddie Durstock looking to have a strong run here tonight in that number 5 tint shop, Cincy Tint Shop Chevrolet. As right now, back up to our leaders. Your leader out front right now is the number 8 car of Christopher Worrell, followed by Alexander Schumacher, Alonzo King in P3, Harley Barletta in 4th, and Austin Armstrong rounds out your top 5.
We've been talking about Alonzo King a lot these days. He seems to be finding his way back up to the front.
He has. I mean, we've talked about he has a win. He was finished, I believe, in the top 3 at Indy. I mean, he's been one of the most consistent drivers as entering this league. And, with the way the point standings are working and whatnot, the way that points or drivers qualify for the playoffs is they have to have, obviously, if you win, you automatically get a bid, but you have to run 50% of the first 17 to 18 races, which means you have to have either 8 or 9 races under your belt. And right now, if Alonzo King keeps on running out the rest of the season until the playoffs, he will be in because he entered right at that cutoff mark. So, Rick, Alonzo King could be making a major splash in the playoff conversation once that time comes around.
Well, the lights are off on top of the pace car. We're about to go back to green flag racing. Christopher Worrell will be our control car. He's currently sitting in the P1 position.
And Rick, another track fact for you, really quick. It's really Las Vegas isn't too interesting of a track, but did you know that the local police department actually sometimes trains its drivers around multiple different configurations to enhance their driving ability and their skills in real life chase situations. So local police department, use a racetrack. Why not? You can go fast, you know?
Absolutely.
Seems like a good place to do it. But Rick, we're about to get the green flag here again for the third time. Pace car makes its way down pit road.
Pace car is off. Green flag is out.
All 30 competitors diving down into turn one. Almost the entire field side by side as they make their way around this 1.5 miles. Here we go. Here's the multiple lines that we're talking about. There's Hermes Castro all the way out there running the Kyle Larson, a little bit too high. Running the Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick. Yeah, I guess we have. Well, I mean, he wasn't all the way against the wall, but he was close. I mean,
pretty close. Pretty close.
I guess the Ross Chastain line, you know, which I don't think that would work here, but you never know. I think we go to Martinsville in this.
Yeah,
that was a big hit, I believe.
So what you are seeing, John, is a little bit of tire smoke as these guys are coming off. I think that's just going to attribute to the wear of these tires at this track. So
you have a lot of conditions going on right now, and you can see those cars. They seem to be a little bit unsettled. I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like they're moving around a lot on the track. It seems like they're just like bumping around. You know, they're going up and down quite a bit. They're moving from side to side, and that's causing a lot of chaos. Right now, we have almost 3 wide battles for P5.
Wrecking.
That, I believe, is a 31 again.
I think the 31 of Joey Thompson is involved again.
Well, Rick, this was my third key to the race. The Turn 4 monster strikes again here in the Tech4Troops Cup Series. Okay, there's the 09. I don't think he could have been involved in this.
We'll watch the 31 of, a little loose. It's Joey Thompson. And then T-bone by the 10. Who is that? Who is running the 10 tonight?
The 10 paint scheme it's not actually the 10, Rick.
It's Ryan. It's Ryan.
Ryan Andrews, who's the 74 on screen. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay, so let's try to let's see if we can see something inside. There we go.
Yep, there it was. There it was.
Oh, pit road. Okay, so a few cars now currently on pit road getting some repairs made. 31 of Joey Thompson. So the 09. But we are now on our third caution of the night.
Third caution of the night, Rick, and you know I don't have a track fact. I don't have a track fact for you tonight. But I ran out of track facts. Vegas isn't that cool of a place.
Well, let's take this opportunity to thank our sponsors here at the Tech4Troops Cup Series. That is Tech4Troops, fabulous organization that provides technology for our veterans and all as well as training. Additionally, you've got the 1111 Project, another veterans organization, U-Haul, and Elite Performance Industries.
If you haven't already, please go check those guys out at what they're doing at Tech4Troops. It's such a good organization. You're going to see some commercials a little bit later on if you haven't already seen them at the beginning of the broadcast. But they are an awesome organization. We can't be happier, Rick, to have them on board for this season and future seasons to come. So we'll see who's going to be crowned technically the first Tech4Troops Cup Series champion this season. Last season we were the iRacing Warriors Motorsports Cup Series. This season we are the Tech4Troops. So it'll be the inaugural Tech4Troops Cup Series champion here. And right now, you know, looking back at it, Joey Doucette is putting a absolute chokehold on the field with 3 wins already, Rick. I mean, he could easily clinch himself into the next round of the playoffs once that time comes around by points, by pure bonus points. So it's going to be interesting to see.
So basically, everybody 15 on back.
Somebody popped him.
Yeah.
New technical difficulties tonight, John. We're working through them.
No worries. We're all good. I think we're still rolling along, and we're about to be 1 to go, I believe.
We'll get that 1 to go as they pass the stripe right now. Lights will be off on our pace car.
And while we have another second, I want to give a shout out to everybody that has commented on the YouTube side of things. So, Paul Valentine, check your titles. That was going to be the beginning of this. Good luck, everyone, says Ryan Pittman. Have a great race, everyone, says Jason Parker. Hey, Angelin, good to see you back. And she says good luck to all the drivers. Donna says he does have a newborn, plenty of diapers available. So
that's going to be Ty.
That is Ty. That is Ty there. So interesting. Donna, do you mean Ty has plenty of diapers for himself when he's going to be driving that Wonder Bread car? Or you're talking about the newborn? That's what I'm curious about, because he is driving Ricky Bobby's car. So no, that's awesome there. So well, congratulations, Mr. Ty, on that newborn. That's awesome. Hopefully, you know, in future years, that little one will be on iRacing potentially, and we'll be able to get them on board. So great to see that. I'm assuming that'll happen at some point. That's typically how it happens. But and Matt McComas says good luck, boys. So
yep,
get out.
I think Matt's traveling today, was unable to make the race.
Alrighty.
Well, we're about to go back to green.
Here we go. 31 out of 133 done here tonight in Vegas. King is your control car, and King is off.
Good jump by the 80 of Alonzo King.
Big run there by the 25. 3 wide. You know, Ty may need that diaper a little bit sooner. That was pretty scary because he got split right in the middle there, Rick. I mean, that's a dangerous spot.
The 1111 cars are just kind of boxing in the 25.
They are. They know how strong that 25 car is, especially in clean air. You know, we do want a fixed setup lead, but that 25 car always seems to find its way up to the front of the field.
So we're beginning to see some shadows on the track. That's one thing. That's the lights are out. We will be transitioning into a nighttime event here as long as this race will go, another 100 laps. And that will definitely change the track.
Yes, it will. Oh, 13 get a little bit loose there. It'll definitely make this track faster. As the temperature goes down, the grip levels will improve, and you will see this track turn into a much faster track. And you may see, you know, a little bit more of an aggressive driving style by a lot of these guys once those lights do come down here in Vegas. Donna says it is a boy, so congratulations on that. That's awesome. So I believe he'll be on iRacing in no time. And Matt McCombie says, miss y'all. We missed you, buddy. Hope you can come back out here and join us for sure.
All right, you're watching the Tech4Troops Vegas 200. We've got 200 miles of Las Vegas Motor Speedway here with these Tech4Troop drivers. We're seeing some great battles and some great displays between these leaders right now. Alonzo King up front, Alexander Schumacher in P2, Austin Armstrong in third, Harley Barletta showing currently in fourth, and Hermas Castro in fifth.
In P6, you have Ty Bostic in seventh, Christopher Howell, and eighth, Mike Slacker. Luke Bullard rounds out your top nine, and Joey Doucette rounds out your top 10. As those positions are jockeying right now, here comes Mike Slacker into the mix. Yeah, that's what's going to happen here at Vegas with the draft. It's going to play a major role into where you go, what moves you make, what line you run.
Wrecking. There was somebody spinning.
That's a 23. That's a 23 of Jeffrey Taylor again, Rick.
He has brought out our fourth caution of the night.
And I heard a driver, I'm not going to name who, had a very close call in this last incident. So we'll see who that individual was.
That's Jeff Neeney behind him in the 40.
Oh.
May have had a little bit of contact there.
Whoa.
Hang on to it. He did hang on to it, but
he did. I think that close. I think everybody that was coming around turn 1 and turn 2 right there was like, "Don't come down the track. Don't come down the track." So I believe that's where that little bit of anxiety came from some of the drivers. But that brings out our, I believe, third or fourth caution. Is that fourth caution of the night, Rick? I believe it's 4.
It is number 4.
Number 4. So right now we'll see if we're going to have any takers down pit road. They pitted about 20 laps ago. We'll see if anybody makes their way, and they do. We have, maybe not. No, we have one car.
Joey Doucette and William Mann is on. Jeff Taylor is on as well. We expected that. But only a few drivers are actually on pit road. And pit road is a bit odd here at Las Vegas. It's a long pit road.
It is a long pit road, and it curves in, just like the front stretch. Typically at 1.5 miles, you see a straight pit road, but here at Vegas, it curves along the same kind of radius as the track does. So very unique track they have here in Vegas, but it's a fun one for sure. It's definitely fun, and we'll see who's going to be able to roll the dice and potentially win here on Pit Strategy. Had to throw in a Vegas joke there, Rick.
Yep,
it's where Vegas.
I agree. So Joey Doucette's got a relatively long event here on pit road. Not sure why. He's now in over 40 seconds in his pit stop, in his stall. Not exactly sure what's going on there, but maybe we'll get some info at a later date. But okay, we are back. We've got 39 laps in the books, 95 laps to go here in Vegas at the Tech4Troops Vegas 200. Your leader, Alonzo King Jr., still showing us the way. Alexander Schumacher behind and Austin Armstrong behind him.
And look at that P4, Harley Barletta. Mr. Barletta's looking to get a win here early in the season and challenge his 1111 veteran project drivers and the AJM guys, same team right there, really the AJM guys up there, to get a victory, because he's looking for something, and he's making a strong statement right now. You have Christopher Howell there in P7. He's looking to get a win, your previous Cup Series champion. We'll see what he's able to do, and if maybe those teammates could work together to try to get something going on. But right now, the top two have been the consistent top 2 to top 3. I think for like the last 3 weeks, Rick, it seems like Schumacher and King are the top drivers at every stage of the race, you know?
Oh, yeah, they've definitely been up front more than one occasion. Well, we're still going around here under caution, our fourth caution of the evening. Well, John, 41 laps in, fourth caution.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. You know, these guys, it's going to be interesting on strategy now, depending on what happens and depending on who's able to play the strategy card right, because by our numbers, they have to pit at least 2 more times. So, I mean, maybe if they get one more, they may be able to do it. I think they could do it on one. It'll definitely be a 2-stop strategy for sure. But when will they come down pit road? When will the leaders take that pit and make that last potential pit stop? So we'll see what happens as the field makes their way down into turn 3 and turn 4 right now. King and Schumacher out front.
About to go back to green. Pace car is off.
And green flag racing here. King gets out to another great start.
And just like last time, Alexander Schumacher tucks in behind him. Austin Armstrong behind Alexander. Definitely taking advantage of that apron.
And that's something that you really don't want to do here. It's not too much of an advantage to where like you would see at Phoenix or another track like that. So we'll see who potentially makes a move like that later in the race. But right now, your top 3 really under a blanket as Schumacher goes to the high side of King out of 4 to try to get a pass on him and take the lead.
Alexander Schumacher challenges Alonso King for this lead. Hermas Castro showed us earlier that high line does work and does work effectively if you can hold it. Austin Armstrong tucks in behind Alexander Schumacher.
Got a lot of tight racing going on between this top 8, really this top 9, as the top 3 under a blanket, and then here comes the 81 of Harley Barletta and a bunch of other drivers behind him. There's Ty Bostic, Luke Bullard there, Hermes Castro. We've got a wreck. Freddie Durstock has been involved in an accident on back. Don't know what happened.
Caution has not come out.
No, but something happened definitely between that 5 and a few other drivers.
Got there with Pete Woodrum, underneath Pete Woodrum right now. We'll just take a peek at that. But that may have settled down a bit. No, he's out. He's back there also with Taylor Bryant as well. So this is not an easy track. This is not, stomp your foot into the throttle and just you're going to go around. You've got to basically work it.
Yeah, no, you definitely have to, especially on older tires, you have to really be careful on throttle and off throttle, because like you've seen some other drivers here tonight, you can get loose out of 2 and out of 4. So it's definitely going to play a major role here in the scheme of things, and that's going to be a big factor into who's able to really come out on top here tonight. And right now, Alonzo King is kind of checking out from the field a little bit. We haven't really seen a car pull away, but Alonzo King has kind of pulled away.
Well, and remember, all these guys up front, pretty much the entire field pitted last on lap 21. That was 27 laps ago. Now, granted, we did have a number of cautions that have taken place during that, so they won't have the same tire wear or fuel burn, but still, 21 laps is 21 laps.
Yes, it is, and we'll see as literally, look at all that, Rick. Look at behind Mr. Armstrong. I mean, you have 5, 6 cars all battling, trying to get around, and there's Harley Barletta there, there's Ty Bostic, all over the place.
Oh, the wolves are definitely gathering behind him.
Yes, they are.
So certainly, they're all waiting for someone to make a mistake, and as these tires wear, driving styles are different. That means that left front or that right front will burn off a little bit differently for each driver, and you're going to start pushing into the corner, which is going to slow your pace down. You may have to take a different line, take a different approach, and that's just what these guys are going to look for.
Here goes a pass.
Yep, they're trying to get around Austin Armstrong.
Yep, there's the 81 of Harley Barletta looking to make his way up to P2. It looks like he's able to do it off of 413, tags the wall. Here comes Ty Bostic to the high side, potentially.
I think that's just what we were talking about earlier. 13 used up a lot of his stuff earlier on with that battle he had going on. And now yeah, that's just the nature of the beast. So the 22 of Bostic is making his way around the 13 of Austin Armstrong. Little loose there, you saw that.
And there's that turn 4 monster coming back to play. It's got to be careful. It'll bite you. It'll bite you for sure. 25
of Hermas Castro is making his way back up the track. We've seen Hermas do this time after time again. Strong at the beginning, fade back a bit, and then work his way back up to the front.
And you know that 25 car can win a race. He is not scared. If you go 3 wide, you got Schumacher, Bullard there, Armstrong at the top. 3 wide going into turn 1. Who's going to give? Nobody.
High line, midline, low line. They're making it work.
As Armstrong has a big run down the backstretch.
The 14 of Mike Slagdrop going to work his way back up. Mike's currently showing now in 10th. In front of him, you've got the 3 of Luke Bullard. You've got the 08 of Ryan Pittman. You are seeing the 13 begin to cycle his way back a little bit. Those earlier incidents of tagging the wall and really working his car aggressively to get back up to the front, taking its toll here on lap 54.
3 wide again. You have Ryan Pittman in the middle line. There's Mike Slatker. He backed out of it.
So back up front, Christopher Howell has made his way around his teammate of Harley Barletta and is now hunting down Alonzo King.
Hey, Rick. Christopher Howell is on the prowl, looking to get that dub. Let's see if we can go on board and ride around with Chris as he's looking to make a pass here on Alonzo King to get up to the top spot. There he goes to the inside. Not clear yet. Oh, we have Harley Barletta in the grass.
I saw that from Chris's mirror. Not sure what caused him to go off the road. Also, that someone else was involved in that, but he is battling. Chris Howell is battling Alonzo King. Alonzo pokes his nose back out. They are side by side.
Here we go. That was a lap or 2 around Vegas as the leaders battle. And we've already seen what this does to some of the cars, so I don't know. I mean, if you're both of these drivers, you got to play really safe because here comes Hermas Castro, your pole sitter, back into the mix as these guys drive side by side. No one giving an inch.
Yeah, and if you're taking that apron, there's just a little bit extra tire wear that happens to your car when you drop off the racing surface and then come back up. Look at this battle between these two drivers.
Yep, they are still side by side, and Hermaz Castro is going to have to make a decision as he's going to try to get a run on the high side. Maybe he's going to make a move down here. Oh, the 80 gets a little loose. Christopher Howell gets to the lead. And here comes her.
Oh, contact!
Castro spun him. Wait, they're not wrecking yet. They're not wrecking. Here comes Hermaz Castro, or that's Alonzo King back up the track. He is sideways. Everybody avoids him. We're still green. Well, we got to go back and take a look at that one, Rick.
We're going to find, let's back the head up just a little bit.
Yep, I mean, we know Hermaz Castro is an aggressive driver. I believe it was just a product of side drafting.
Oh, contact with the 25. Saved it. Apron, racing surface. That's driving.
That's a heck of a drive there by Alonzo King. That's a race-saving move as he comes down pit road.
It is lap 60.
You gotta make a note of this, because if they can go about 45 laps, Rick, you have, let's see, what is that, about 72 to go? Is that correct? Is my math right on that? I believe it is.
Yep.
So you make one more stop and you're good to go to the end. So he's probably going to try to short pit, because those tires, are not going to be anywhere near what the leaders are right now. Speaking of the leader, Christopher Howell, it's good to have you back out front, our friend. We have not seen him out front a lot this season, but he's been consistently finishing up in the top 5 and top 10. Our past Cup Series champion looking to have a strong run here at Vegas to get his first win of the season.
So as we're watching the leaders go around, we're seeing a number of drivers begin to work their way in and out of the pits. We saw Alonzo King. We saw Luke Bullard. Ryan Pittman and Sean Shootman are both on pit road as we speak. So I think it's their due. They pitted last on lap 21. And we'll begin to see these leaders come in. Harley Barletta, Ty Bostic also on pit road.
Got to make a note of this, laps 61 and 63. Here comes all the cars. It's going to start happening. These leaders are going to start making their way down pit road, and here comes the strategy game. What do you do with 70 to go?
Mike Slagter and Ian Ogden now on pit road coming in. As well as Marco Berube. So number 1, Chris Howell. Number 2, Hermaz Castro. Both pitted last on, here we go.
Yep, there they come. Hermaz Castro trying to get as big of a run as he can. Look at that. Look at him move. So very smart move by the 25 there, Rick. What he did was he realized there was a little bit more real estate he could have gained, and he actually increased his speed as he approached the line and back to back down to decrease the delta between him and that number 88 car.
We're expecting a full stop here, all 4 tires, and a fill up of Sunoco fuel. Right side's going on, left side's going on. Back up front, Chris Worrell is currently showing as our leader. Now Chris pitted last on lap 29. So he's got about 8 laps to the good over those guys you just saw pit now. Now, the guys behind him, William Mann, Joey Doucette, Jeff Taylor, Evan Amick, and Pete Woodrum, those guys pitted last on lap 38. So we're seeing definitely some different pit strategies that will play out here amongst these drivers.
Definitely we will, especially with this group. We'll see who's able to prevail. Looks like we're going to have some other drivers coming down pit road, I believe, this time. So we'll see what happens now, as it shows on the tower multiple drivers a lap down. But that's just because we're cycling through some pit stops.
Yep, that's pretty much expected, especially a track like this where there is a significant amount of pit strategy that will play out. And right now, until Chris Worrell and William Mann and Joey Doucette and Jeff Taylor and Pete Woodrum go in, and those guys will be still shown, at least in the scoring tower, as being lapped down. All right, while we take this opportunity to just run a spot, you won't miss anything. We'll go side by side.
When veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech4Troops, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce. We want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, welcome back. Currently, your leader shows as William Mann, but we're cycling through pit stops, and William will have to come back down pit road.
You know, just to give you a perspective on some of these lap times, Rick, William Mann just ran a 32. Alexander Schumacher ran a 30.8. So about a second to a second and a half there, depending on fresh tires versus old tires. So definitely going to play a factor here later on. But you never know. William Mann Jr. may just try to play the long game here, and he's going to lose time. But eventually he'll make it back up. It's just... It's the risk you play, because if a caution comes out, you lose all that track position.
Well, he pitted last on lap 38. We should expect to see him down here in the next 3 to 4 laps. Of course, he's waiting for someone to make a mistake. Pete Woodrum is on pit road right now. There are only 3 drivers left who have not pitted. That's William Mann, Joey Doucette, and Jeff Taylor.
Yep, and if you look back, Rick, look at King. He's only 20 seconds back. Bullard, 21. Howell, 25. So these guys, when they come down pit road next, Doucette and Taylor and Mann are going to be significantly behind all of these other leaders. They are definitely playing that long-term strategy game. Say, okay, y'all pit early. Fine. We're going to stay out for as long as we can to reduce the amount of pit stops that we have to make. So, could they be going for a 1-stop?
I don't think that's possible. Even if you pit that lap with 58 to go, that's in 3 laps. You can't run this car out 58 laps. I don't think so.
We don't think so, but I guess we'll see, as we just got 60 laps to go here in the Tech4Troops Vegas 200.
Coming back to Alonzo King. He's working his way back up to the front. Highlight Joey Doucette in the 11 car. One of the 11 cars. He's now coming on down pit road. I think the writing's on the wall for Joey.
We knew they were going to come down pit road. It was just a matter of when. But that 11 car has made his way down as Mann and Taylor stay out.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time trying to locate Jeff Taylor. There he is. I think his car is blinking a little bit. But here he comes down pit road. That means the only driver who is currently on the track who pitted last on lap 38 is William Mann Jr. He must know something we don't.
Maybe he does. I mean, he's been up front quite a bit over the last couple races. We'll see what he's able to do.
Alonzo King is 16 and a half seconds or so behind William Mann, so running through a pit stop, pretty much getting off the track on pit road, getting your stop in and getting off takes around 46 seconds. So if your nearest competitor behind you is 16 seconds behind, you're going to wind up being 30 seconds behind him, which is just about a lap.
Just about, and that's the worry here as he comes down pit road with 57 to go. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it, Rick, on fuel.
Well, fuel and tires at that point, so.
Yeah, exactly. You may blow a tire.
We're keeping an eye on William Mann just to see exactly how this pit stop runs. He is cycling back through the leaders. He is off. That was a 15.12 second stop, a good stop.
As he lets everybody else know in the pits that he's going off pit road by driving through all the pit stalls. So.
All right, so he has cycled back. He is at the tail end of the field. He's trying to get back up to speed before he winds up getting passed by Alonzo King. Of course, he now has fresher tires by nearly 20 laps.
He does, and this is going to be an interesting play because he is exactly 29 seconds back at the current moment. There's the leaders right there, Christopher Howell. So can he make up that much time? I'm going to be paying attention to the delta. Right now it's 29.776. I'm going to see how fast he can make up this time, Rick, because towards the end here, it may be equal. I mean, making up, that much time is a lot, but if this thing goes green, you never know.
Well, that's also us assuming it's going to stay green. Caution comes out, this all goes away. He'll wind up being right up to the leaders.
That is correct.
All right, 53 laps to go. 81 are in the books of the Tech4Troops Vegas 200. I'm your host, Rick Souza, joined my co-host here, John DeRugis, with the IWM Broadcast Network. We're really thankful that you could join us tonight on YouTube or Twitch or Facebook. We ask that you like and follow our channel so we can keep you up to date on things happening here at the IWM Broadcast Network. And with their leagues, we have a Speedway League on Tuesday nights, and here are Cup Series here on Wednesday. All right, Christopher Howell has moved out to a fairly significant gap over the second place car of Alonzo King. Christopher Worrell behind Alonzo, and Alexander Schumacher, but farther back. I think it's worth bringing up the track map to get a feel for.
Everybody's spread out.
Yep, you're seeing there in the track map all those little dots with the car numbers. Kind of gives you an indication of just how this field is spread out here at Vegas.
So right now, Rick, I've been keeping up with
That's 4-5 wide for a second there.
that's not good.
14 of Mike Slagner dropped down below the white line to avoid that. That was smart on his part. There's just too much. There's no way 5 wide can get around this track. There's just
no way.
No, not enough geography.
So Rick, I've been watching William Mann's lap times and watching the Delta. He's made up about 2 seconds on the leader as it stands. So this could play an interesting factor into how his race progresses if we do stay green. Now cut it to 3 seconds gain. I don't know if he's going to have enough juice, but Rick, this could be such a gamble, which it's Vegas. You know, it comes with the territory. It could work. I don't think the numbers add up, but it could work in his favor.
Well, we'll have to see.
Oh, Bostic in the wall. Did he blow a right front tire?
He's holding it up there. Nope, just looked like he's got some right side damage on that 22.
That was a very vicious impact. Surprised that didn't break a toe.
Yeah, just so you're aware, William Mann Jr. is an affiliate inside the Average Joe Motorsports, so you know, he is running with those guys, and there's probably a lot of information sharing amongst those guys.
Interesting. As we see right now, Mr. Bostic coming down pit road.
Slow down.
Well, Rick, this is even more interesting than William Mann Jr. because if Ty meant to hit the wall, which I don't think he did, nobody means to hit a wall, and he comes down pit road right now, my estimation is you can make it about 45 laps on a tank of gas. We have exactly 45 laps to go. Could this be the money stop for Mr. Bostic, where he uses quick repair, get back in the game, and potentially win this race? I mean, it's a good move. I think try it. We'll see what happens. But this could be the final stop for the 22 machine.
Well, he definitely used his quick repair. Got 4 sticker tires. He's back out. Obviously, he went a lap down during that process, but you're right. If this is his last stop of the night.
We have a battle for the lead, though, Rick. Where'd the 8 come from?
That's Chris Worrell. And he is taking that lead away.
Yes, he is. You know, right now, these two individuals are, they're almost the same person, if you really consider it, you know. It's Christopher Worrell against Christopher Howell, and there's a bunch of double L's and 8s and Chris's, and, you know, they're almost the same person. Not really. I mean, they drive very similar. They're both fantastic drivers, but right now, Christopher Worrell, or Chris Worrell rather, has taken the lead away from Christopher Howell. So the whirlwind of Chris Worrell has made his way up to the front of the pack in that number 8 car. Christopher Howell is in P2. Hermaz Castro made his way up to P3. Alexander Schumacher in 4th. And Alonzo King round out the top 5. As we approach 40 laps to go here in this event here fairly soon in the next couple laps. We appreciate everybody watching along tonight, and we appreciate everybody watching along on any other channel besides YouTube, such as Twitch and or Facebook. We appreciate all the guys and all the girls and all the fans out there cheering on their favorite drivers. As we have 42 to go, you don't want to miss a thing, as after the race, we will interview the top 3 finishers here tonight. As of right now, it'll be Christopher Worrell, Christopher Howell, and Hermaz Castro. So if that's one of your favorite drivers, stick around, see if they're able to finish up front. But Rick, I'm curious to see what these drivers think, as we had one of our longest green flag stints of the season, which is good to see. It's good to see. It's good to see green flag racing.
Absolutely. So we'll kind of take a run back through the pack. Let you know where your favorite driver is. Sitting in second place, that's Christopher Howell back here in third. Hermaz Castro in that Tech4Troops 25. See back there in fourth, you've got Alexander Schumacher. 5th, Alonzo King. Harley Barletta. And there's short pitting going on right now.
Yes, there is.
So Alonzo King and Ryan Pittman are both coming down pit road.
The 08 and the 80.
Mike Slagner in the 14 is currently sitting in 6th. Paul Valentine has moved up to 7th. He has actually picked up 15 spots since his qualifying.
Yeah, it's a great run for Paul. He definitely needs some consistency here, and what a better way to start off that track here at Vegas with the top 10 finish. So we'll see if he's able to bring it home in the top 10, maybe top 5.
Ian Ogden is currently showing in 8th. Mark Feeney in 9th. And Joey Doucette is currently showing in 10th. Well, while we're talking right through the top 10 running order, a number of drivers have made their way down here to get fuel and tires. Alonzo King, Ryan Pittman, Austin Armstrong, Jeff Neely have come down.
Yep,
David
all
Watts.
those guys coming down pit road. Rick, if you had to roll the dice, who would you say is your favorite with about 40 or 37 laps to go in this event? Who is your pick to potentially win?
My mind's on Alonzo King right now. I've liked what I've seen so far, and I think he's got the car to get around here. He's made some good moves. I think this was an excellent strategic move here to pit on lap 93. That gives him plenty of time to get back, and he knows everybody is going to make it. Now, the wild card, as we talked about earlier, is William Mann Jr., who's now in 10th.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting play to see what he's able to do. I really liked what Ty Bostic did. If this thing stays green, I'm a huge fan of what he did. Yes, he is a lap down, but he's in front of Alonzo King. He was the first one to come down with he is going to run out at the line. I think Ty could get his first win of the season here in that Wonder car, Wonder Bread car. I think he could potentially bring it home. We'll see if he's able to do it. But right now, that's my pick. So we'll see who's correct and whose gambling is on point. I'm obviously no money in any factor, but rolling the dice, we got the 22 car and the 80. Right now, Christopher Worrell is still out front with Howell right behind him, and nobody really anywhere close to either of those drivers. You have Castro about 5.5 seconds back, Schumacher about 8.5 back. Looks like we have some more guys coming down pit road. That is the 14 pitting. I believe Bobby Gibson's coming down pit road here soon from what I'm hearing on radio communications.
Yeah, the field is completely spread out around this track. These cycle of pit stops, and these were not pit stops of necessity. These were pit stops of strategy.
Looks like Alexander Schumacher is coming down pit road. Just heard that radio communication. Mark Feeney is going to come down pit road as well. There's some more takers out front.
Yep, Christopher Howell is now coming down pit road.
Yep, there's Mr. Howell.
Very close to...
Oh!
Yeah.
That's going to cost him a few seconds there, Rick.
Joey Doucette is on pit road.
Your current point leader. And there goes his teammate right by him. That is the 11. And here comes the 88. And there's the 8. Still out front. Hermaz Castro has pit. Paul Valenstein is pit. And look who's cycling his way back up to the front there, Rick. William Mann Jr. Now, I know it's going to be close. But that would be, what a strategy call by the 29. If he's able to pull this off.
Oh, there's contact with the 13.
Yeah, well, strategy won't matter if you're in the wall. So, but that was close for sure. We'll see what happens as the field is definitely starting to shake up here.
13th is fighting for a position. He's currently sitting in 13th place.
Christopher Worrell still is your
Nope,
leader as he just comes down pit road.
And that's
ooh.
yeah, looks a little fast here from the broadcast booth, but next time we'll put up the telemetry and see what we can see from in-car next time.
For sure we will. And right now, I just got to tell you, Rick, Alonzo King just went right around Ty Bostic. So that, I think, could be the battle for the win if William Mann Jr. does not come down pit road. Can William Mann Jr. hold on for the next 30 laps? We'll see.
Well, I don't know. Alonzo King is not far behind. He's 18 seconds behind. We've got 30 laps to go. But Alonzo King just turned a 30.54, and William Mann turned a 32.04. So a second and a half. You do the math.
It's going to happen.
12, 15 laps. William Mann is going to have a lot of Alonzo King in his rearview mirror.
He will, but how will King's tires fare as the race goes on, though? That's the other thing you have to consider, because he's not going to be able to consistently run those kind of lap times. It's going to fall off a little bit, but is it going to be enough? Is it going to be enough? I mean,
well, Williams Mann's going to continue to get worse. That last lap for him was a 32.39, so he is going backwards nearly 1.5 seconds per lap.
We'll see what happens here as this race starts to unfold. But is that, if I'm reading this, the point, is Christopher Worrell now in P4? Is that correct?
That is correct. He came out now in P4.
Well, if I had to pick a new winner, I mean, I would pick Christopher Worrell. The reason why is because he's going to have fresher tires than King.
That's Jeff Neeney in the wall twice now.
He's riding that wall. He pulled a Ross Chastain. He's coming back down the track right in front of Ty Bostic. Watch out. But look at the difference. Christopher Worrell is gaining major ground on Alonzo King. So Chris has a great chance to potentially pass Alonzo, as they are now 13 seconds back from the leader, William Mann Jr.
Yep, that lap times begin to chip away. The Alonzo King last ran a 31.22. Now that is just about 1.2 seconds faster than William Mann. The tire wear is beginning to affect Alonzo King. He's not able to rip off 2 seconds at a time.
Here comes Christopher Worrell.
Moves his way ahead. You are
passes
correct.
the 80 with ease.
Well, you have to remember Alonzo King, he's got 10 tires to the good. 10 laps to the good on his tires over Alonzo King.
About to say, Rick, if he has 10 tires on that number 80 machine, I mean, tire wear shouldn't be an issue.
Should not be an issue.
But right now, they are 11 seconds back from William Mann Jr.
All right, while we're watching this, we're going to go side by side one more time. Be right back.
When veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech4Troops, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce. We want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
Hello, my name is Amanda, and I support Tech4Troops.
Welcome back, folks. We're watching Christopher Howell try to run down William Mann Jr. There's just 8.5 seconds between William Mann Jr. and Christopher Worrell. There are only 23 laps to go. It's just about a second and a half delta between the lap times being posted by William and We'll bring up those lap times. So as you can see by the tower, William Ann's last time 32:38. Chris Worrell 30:90.
And look back, Christopher Howell even running some fast laps there in the low or high 30s.
.8 seconds separates Chris Worrell.
And he is on the prowl. Christopher Howell is, and Christopher Worrell. And that Cyber Power number 8, you know, he only has to make up about a quarter second a lap now to catch him in time. And Rick, he just gained, 29 is pitting. 29 is pitting. Well, Rick, this just got interesting.
I'm not sure if he can get back up with 20 laps to go, but hey, we'll see what he's got.
Hey, if it's a green-white checkered, Rick, and you're up front, I don't know if you want to pit. So we'll see what happens. But right now, your new leader, Christopher Worrell, followed by Christopher Howell, and
Now,
Hermaz Castro in P3.
Yep. So all these guys have pretty much pitted around lap 1. Well, actually, Chris Worrell has an extra lap or 2 on top of Christopher Howell. Christopher Howell pitted last on lap 100. Hermaz Castro on 101. So Chris Worrell, lap 103.
So they're all really within the same window, and that's why you're seeing not much budge in those deltas. I mean, look at that. They're almost consistent. Really a 10th here, a 10th there. But Christopher Worrell is in a perfect world for him to bring home his first win of the season. And that number 8 Cyber Power Chevrolet, he's looking to bring it on home. And we'll see if he's able to do it, because you may see there at the top of your screen, that was Christopher Howell and Hermaz Castro. That is the battle for the second place position that is heating up between those two drivers. We know Hermaz can drive pretty aggressive, great driver. Christopher Howell does not want to give up that second place spot, though.
So Chris Worrell, is this his first outing with Tech4Troops?
I would have to check my handy dandy sources, but I will give you an update on that in a second.
All right. Oh, that was like Mike. I could be wrong, but that was the 14.
Was that the 14, or is that Freddie Durstock?
You're right, it was Freddie Durstock. Oh, contact with the 23.
Good save there by the 5. A dangerous place to be is that grass.
Fortunately, Freddie towed out of that position. Probably at this point, his night may be through.
So, Rick, this is Christopher Worrell's first race this season.
We're going to be talking about Chris often. This is his first race. 14 laps to go. He is running first. He's got almost a 5-second advantage over Christopher Howell. And unless there's a late caution, I think he's going to be hard to catch.
And you know, this is not the first time we've seen this, Rick. We've seen some debut drivers have a win in their first race. Hence Alonzo King. His first race was at Richmond. What does he do? Come out and win. I believe it wasn't at Richmond, I believe.
I'd have to go back and look, but yeah, we saw Alonzo King out of nowhere come in and just mow down the field.
Absolutely. Honeyman Gaming says, let's go Alonzo. Alonzo has to make up a little bit of time there. He's about 10 seconds back, so unless a caution comes out, Alonzo maybe secured himself that P4 position.
So the drivers are pretty spread out. We'll kind of take a run back and kind of... So again, Christopher Howell is just by himself out there trying to run down Chris Worrell. Hermas Castro, same thing. Alonzo King. Now what you're seeing is some lap traffic that is sprinkled through the field here, that these drivers are having to work their way through. Alexander Schumacher. Oh, that's interesting. Alonzo King is on pit road.
I'm a little shocked there, Rick. They don't have to pit again, do they?
I don't know. It's unfortunate to be pitting with 10 laps to go.
It is. I mean, we'll see what the strategy call is, but Mr. Aggressive there and Alonzo King pitting with 10 to go.
So your leader, Chris Worrell, 10 laps to go, followed by Christopher Howell, Hermas Castro, Alexander Schumacher, Ryan Pittman, Harley Barletta, Mike Slagter, Luke Bullard, Ian Ogden, and Paul Ballenstein. That's your top 10.
And this is going to put Alonzo King a full lap down, Rick, I believe.
William Mann as well is a full lap down. Alonzo King.
You know, one of my keys to the race tonight was the pit strategy, so we'll see who's able to make their way on top here, as your top three still are Christopher Worrell, Christopher Howell, and Hermas Castro, as they are now approaching 7 to go this time by. What a win this could be for
Harley
Mr.
Barletta on pit road.
Interesting. Maybe they can't make it. Rick?
Yeah, I think we were a bit generous in our understanding of what these cars can do. We saw some long green runs, but you know, again, if you're out there,
caution!
Oh gosh, Bobby Gibson has crashed.
Oh, here we go, Rick. Here we go. Oh,
that's Austin Armstrong. Bobby was already in the wall. That's odd.
I think the 13 hit the apron, Rick.
Did he do that before?
Maybe.
So, I'm just backing this up just a little bit farther than usual here. That's Pete Woodrum behind. This from what Pete saw. Well, definitely an incident that's kind of changed the complexion of this race. And now you're seeing all your top 7, top 8 on pit road. We're going to take this opportunity to run to a commercial break. We'll be right back for the finale of the Tech4Troops Vegas 200.
When
veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech4Troops, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers to get back in the workforce. We want to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, welcome back. We are under caution here. 5 laps to go.
Hey, Rick, we had a wreck under caution. Hermas Castro has wrecked coming out of pit road, if you can catch that.
Hang on, let me get a better camera shot of that. Back that up. Oh, just spun the tires.
Locked it up. Probably flat spotted those tires. You know, that's not what he wanted to see.
Nope. I mean, he's still sitting in 3rd place. Didn't cost him much, but now he's got some wear on those tires he had not expected. So we were looking for that pace car.
Pace car is, I believe, coming out of turn 2 right now. There it is. About to come out of 2. And your leader will be Christopher Worrell. Now let's make a note of this. William Mann Jr. and Alonzo King, 15th and 16th. You know, Alonzo King came down with 10 to go. This just doesn't play in his favor, as we're going to get a green-white checkered, Rick. I mean, he's going to have a lot of luck on his side here tonight. I mean, it is Vegas, so he may be able to roll the dice and pull something off, but Alonzo King is going to need a lot of assistance here to be able to potentially win.
So there's a lot of cars still on the track, and they've got to get around. And this is 1.5 miles. They're going to get a wave around the pace car. They're going to have to boogie to get back up.
Yes, they will.
All right, there's that wave around we were talking about earlier. That's Alonzo King right there. They've got to not only get back, but they've got to get back in order. So you can't pass a slower car who's trying to get around. They've got to get back to catch the tail end of the field, since they're now back on the lead lap. So Ty Bostic is the first car down, I think, right now. He's a lap down. Everybody else, 20 cars will be on the lead lap.
And Rick,
yeah.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a fantastic finish, don't go away.
No, you're at the right place, right here. You have roughly 20 cars under a blanket, all battling for a victory. Look at Mike Sladker there. Look at Christopher Howe. Look at Schumacher, could have potentially bring home a win. Maybe Luke Bullard. I mean, there's so many different drivers that could potentially win here at Vegas. Pace car makes his way off pit road. Green flag is in the flagman's hand, and we're green flag racing. Outside line beats the inside line.
Watch for contact. Watch for contact. This is going to be crazy.
Here we
2 and
go.
3 wide.
2 to go. Here comes Hermas Castro to the bottom side of Christopher Howell, looking to bring home another win on the season. Christopher Howell just doesn't seem to have the grip. Here comes Alexander Schumacher to the bottom side. I imagine that 25 is going to ride that high line, Rick.
That's been his bread and butter all day. 3 wide.
Here we go. 3 wide.
In 4. That is not a good recipe. White flag. White flag flies.
Win the race, or next flag will end the race, not win the race. but Christopher Worrell is out front right now by about a quarter of a second on Hermes Castro. Christopher Howell is in third. We have some battling going on. Ryan Pittman and Alexander Schumacher get into each other going into turn 3. Here comes Hermes Castro to the bottom side. Don't think he's going to do it. Christopher Worrell, first race in the Tech4Troops Cup Series, brings home a win. Hermes Castro in second. Christopher Howell in third.
Alexander Schumacher 4th, Ryan Pittman 5th, Mike Slagter, great showing tonight, in 6th, Luke Bullard in 7th, Ian Ogden in 8th, Paul Valentine in 9th, and Joey Doucette in 10th.
Well, Rick, that was definitely a finish that plays into Vegas. Nobody had Christopher Worrell to potentially win, but he was out front for a decent amount of time tonight, and he brings home his first win of the season in his debut in the Tech4Troops Cup Series Season 2. So we'll see how he's able to burn the house down tonight. We'll see how it's able. Let's see if he's going to do a burnout. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. He's just going to stop there for photos and whatnot and say hi to the fans. But here is your finishing order here tonight in the Tech4Troops Vegas 200. Christopher Worrell brings home the win with Hermes Castro, another strong finish in second. Christopher Howell finally gets a podium finish in third with Alexander Schumacher in fourth. Ryan Pittman rounds up the top 5. Mike Slabter there in 6th. Luke Bullard in 7th. Ian Ogden in 8th. Paul Valentine in 9th. And your top 10, your point leader, Joey Doucette.
In 11th, Mark Feeney. In 12th, Austin Armstrong. 13th, Alonzo King Jr. 14th, Jeff Taylor. 15th, Pete Woodrum. 16th, William Mann Jr. 17th is Brad Previtt. And 18th is Evan Amick. In 19th, you have got Harley Barletta. In 20th, Jeff Nini. 21st, Ty Bostic. 22nd, Marco Berube. 23rd, Robert Fake. 24th, Sean Shootman. 25, Ryan Andrews. 26, David Watts. 27th, Bobby Gibson. 28th, Freddie Durstock Jr. 28th, Taylor Bryant. 30th, Joey Thompson. All right, well, it's that time again. Let's see if we can get some of our drivers here into the booth. We're going to try and locate Mr. Christopher Howell. Chris, welcome to the broadcast booth. Congratulations on your P3 finish.
Yeah, I was looking for a second place there, and just got a late caution and finished third. Chris was definitely the better car. I had an awesome start there. I actually checked up a little bit because I didn't want to beat the leader to the line, so I thought I was going to get a penalty, so kind of let up a little bit. But in hindsight, maybe I should have just stayed in it and seen if it was going to be a penalty or not. But overall, it was a pretty good race. It went green for a while, so
it sure did. Yeah, and we were marveling on how that outside line got a really great jump on the start.
Yeah, the outside line is fast, but I don't think the tires can hold it. So I think the preferred line is definitely a low line or modified, like maybe half lane up. So
Sure, yeah. I was speculating that restart too. I saw you get a jump, and I was like, oh no, is that going to be a penalty? And then I saw you back off, and that's where you potentially avoided that penalty. So I think that was a good move there on your part, because that would be a terrible spot to get a penalty, because you'd have to drop all the way back to the last car on the lead lap. But this is good momentum going into the next few races for sure. This should help you move up a little bit in the point standings to catch your teammate, Mr. Doucette, who has got 3 wins on the season and doing well. So congratulations, Chris, on your P3 podium finish, looking to carry momentum into the next few races. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to or thanks tonight before we head off and interview Mr. Hermes Castro?
Yeah, of course. I want to shout out to my sponsors, 1111 Veteran Project, Racing for Heroes, and of course the league sponsor, Tech4Troops. And shout out to the admins, Elliot, Michael, yourself, Rick, all the other admins. They run a pretty good league. We have fun over here. Sometimes it gets a little dicey, but hey, that's part of racing. And just want to thank my teammates as well, Ian, John, Harley, Joey. Just want to thank them. And third place. Really hope. I just wish I could break through a ceiling and get a win this year. But hey,
We keep
it
hoping.
is what it is. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough season for sure.
All right. Well, thank you very much. That was our P3 finish, Christopher Howell. So I don't think that we're able to interview right now Hermas Castro. I don't see him anywhere. So I think we'll just have to bring in our winner. This is Chris Worrell. Welcome to the winner circle.
Rick Salsa, how you doing, brother?
Great, Chris. How are you?
I'm pretty good, man. Feels good to get the win.
Yeah, you were out front a lot of the time, and I was that last pit stop. I was surprised that you were able to just get around everybody and take the lead. I thought it was going to be kind of smooth sailing. And let me ask you this. I'm kind of curious. I saw some guys, and we saw some guys in the booth hitting with about 10 laps to go, 8 laps to go, 7 laps to go. Were you all going to run out of gas, or did you have to come down pit road within 10 to go?
I didn't. Before that long run, I had pit, and I got tires and filled up. So I had about like a good 6 or 7 laps, I think, on the field. I think there was one other person who had pit after that, who might have been able to beat me like by a lap or two on fuel. But I mean, I was good. I saw a lot of people pitting there. I was surprised to see that. I have no idea why they were doing that though.
What did you see for the average run based on a full tank of fuel?
Everybody just going full throttle the whole time.
No, I'm trying to just estimate how many laps were you able to get out of a full tank of fuel?
Oh, I want to say it's right around 37 laps.
Yeah,
maybe 30, between 37 and 40 possibly.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
You know, somewhere around there.
Well,
I know I pit on lap 70, and pit on lap 70, went to lap like 103, and I still had like 3 laps left. So, you know, somewhere between lap, 35, 38 laps, I believe.
Interesting. Yeah, we were speculating up in the booth. It's around 40 to 45, so that's good data for sure. But shout out to you, able to get a victory in your first race of the Tech4Troops Cup Series this season. I mean, what a statement win. We've actually had a few debut drivers this year actually win on their first time out. One of them is Alonzo King, and then you were the second one to do it. So definitely putting a little bit of a shock on the field, saying, "Hey guys, I'm here to race. I'm not here to play around." So congratulations on your win. And hey, is there anybody you would like to thank tonight or give a shout out to before we end the show?
Chris Howell, Elliot Swope, Paul, all the guys that raced with us on Thursday nights, Ty, I don't want to forget anybody, Michael. I know a couple of the guys in here. I usually race with them on Thursday nights and have fun with them. My Wednesday league just ended, so I was hoping to come in here and run, a couple off races and have fun with these guys. So thanks to everybody let me race. I had a good time. I'd like to thank the sponsor too, which is the Tech Vets. I'm sorry if I messed this up.
Tech4Troops.
Tech4Troops. All right. I haven't heard of that. I'll have to check it out. But thanks to those guys for putting on the race. Thank you guys for doing the broadcast. And, balls out teammates and James Lowe, if you're watching. And that's about it.
All right. There's your winner. That's Chris Worrell here in the Tech4Troops Vegas 200. Well, John, that was a very interesting race. We saw some great green flag runs. Just a first-time winner here. Lots of interesting racing tonight. Definitely saw some great side-by-sides. A little scary at times, but a great event.
It's always a great event here with the Tech4Troop guys, and definitely an awesome way to finish off tonight by talking to Mr. Chris Worrell, debut winner here for his first time here in the Tech4Troops Cup Series. But I want to hand this off over to Mr. Elliot Swope. I think he has some things to say there. Rick, Elliot, you got your ears on.
Somebody beamed me up, Scotty. There, I don't know what that was, but yeah. I wanted to let you guys know that not only did Chris Worrell win the race, but he also won the 1111 Vets. I'm sorry, I got the broadcast in the background. Let me turn it down. The 1111 Veterans Project Cleanest Driver Award. So not only did he win the race, but he also won that award. And Ryan Pittman won the IWM Hard Charger Award. It was a good race. Great race, really. Chris kind of ran away with it until the last caution. So that made it exciting. Next week we're going to Atlanta. It's going to be old Atlanta. And that race is going to set the field for the next Dash for Cash race, which will be 2 weeks after. We're going to take Thanksgiving week off, and 2 weeks after we will do North Wilkesboro as the Dash for Cash race. So.
Well, that should be a lot of fun. So next week, Atlanta, and 2 weeks, and then we're at North Wilkesboro.
Yep, that's what we're gonna do. And like I said, next week will be the Dash for Cash field setter, and then North Wilkesboro will be the next Dash for Cash race.
All right.
Sounds great.
Sounds great.
Well, thank you for joining us, folks. This has been a great race. Thank you, John. Great to call a race with you here with the Tech4Troops Cup Series and here at Vegas.
Absolutely, it's been fun, and I think I'm going to join you in the booth next week for our other series that we are broadcasting, the Super Speedway Kings, and looking forward to doing that one. So make sure to always drop a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed what you watched tonight, if you enjoyed the broadcast, and we appreciate everybody watching along all of our platforms and joining us here. It's always great to have an audience and to cheer on your favorite drivers. Next week, please make sure to tune in, same time, same broadcast channel. We will be at Atlanta, not new Atlanta, old Atlanta, which I think is even actually better because that's going to test the tire conservation of all these drivers out here in these next-gen cars. So from John and Rick and everybody up here, Elliot in the iRacing Tech4Troops Cup Series and the iRacing Warriors Motorsports Broadcast Network, we hope you have a good night, and thank you for tuning in.
All right. Good night, folks.